Hello everyone and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we're going to be taking a look at another e-Raptor insert. This time it's for War of the Ring 2nd edition, published by Ares Games. This is Lord of the Rings in a box. Tons of components in this game, and I need to find a better storage solution. Thanks to the folks over at e-Raptor for sending this over for review. So we're going to take a look at my current storage solution, put this thing together, then put all the components into it, see how it looks, see how it works, and I'll give you my impressions. All right, so here's my current game. I'll show you how I store it, and we'll see a kind of little before and after here. I do have the Warriors of Middle-earth expansion, which I've opened, have not played with yet. I've only played this game once. It's been on my shelf of shame for years. Finally got it to the table the other day and learned it. Got through that rule book. But I do have the Lords of Middle-earth expansion in here too, and supposedly this expansion stores all of it. So we'll find that out here, how well it does such things. So I just got the rule book and the player aids on the top. I also store the rulebook for the Lords of Middle-earth in here. But like I said, I threw the box away, and I do have Lords of Middle-earth in here, mixed in with the regular components. Here's the two boards, or two halves of the board, should I say. And then see, here's the cards already falling out. I don't even have these things sleeved, but the cards barely fit in this tray. They fall out all the time. Then I have the expansion stuff put in bags here. The stuff I have not played with Lords of Middle-earth, but I just threw all the components in baggies until I figure out what to do with it. But again, it's not going to fit in this card holder. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I just threw it in baggies because I didn't want to keep extra boxes. And I probably would have figured out the same thing with the Warriors of Middle-earth expansion. I just haven't got that far yet, but this insert should solve that for us. Then I got some other tokens in baggies here. And then I just have the dice in this tray, and then on this tray I have all the Free Peoples components, and I do paint the bases so that we can tell them quickly apart which faction they belong to, and same on the other side for the Sauron players components are all here, and that's really it. This insert's okay, like it's better than nothing from this 2012 game, but there is some air underneath, that space that could have been used. We'll see how the insert from e-Raptor takes better use of some of the space or not. We'll find out. Okay, let's crack into this insert and we'll take a look, and then we'll do a little speed up assembly for you guys so you can see it put together, sort of. Watch me fumble around with it as usual. So it's got a couple sheets here. One of them's two-sided. These are your instructions. It doesn't walk you through like normal assembly you would get with anything else, where it has like step 1, 2, 3, whatever, like you'd see with IKEA furniture or Lego or that kind of stuff. This kind of just gives you a 3D drawing that kind of, you just got to follow the arrow and try to figure out how it's assembling, which sometimes can be a little confusing at what goes on first, but it's not the worst thing. You can always pop in the wood, pop it back out, and troubleshoot it, and you'll figure it out. It won't take that long, and we'll find that out here. So I'm going to put this thing together now. So here's the insert complete. Here's all 5 pieces. 2 of them, these 2 are exactly the same. These 2 are roughly the same, just like different, they had like top right, top left on them, just to build them in slightly different way, but, or different orientation, I guess. But I'll try to figure out how to put all the components back in the box, and we'll see how it fits, how it holds everything, and we'll find out in a second. All right, so got all the components into the insert. Just note, I am using custom blue and red dice here for combat dice. Tossed, well, got rid of the white dice. There's 5 little white dice that come in the game. That would leave a little more room for the additional dice in here, but I had to store some a little bit into this token tray here. Totally fine, there's extra room, but they are slightly bigger dice. I know a lot of people upgrade the game with other dice. These are ones I just grabbed at a convention that, you know, had the blue and the red, looked nice, fit with the game well. Now for the factions, there is still room in here. It's not too tight. You could probably organize these a little better, so you might be able to play out of this box. I just kind of threw this stuff in quickly because we're going to be playing it actually in a couple hours after filming this. So I kind of didn't care how it goes in, but just to show you, there is enough wells here you can separate. Like I separated the Nazgul, for example, the minions for the Sauron player. And then I kind of had to split some of the factions into 2 wells here. And here's the faction stuff from the Warriors of Middle-earth expansion. But there is extra room. As you can see there, there's plenty of room in this one for overfill. You could probably sort them a little better and separate the factions. But there you go. You have 8 wells per faction, 8 little insert sections there for it. And over here, same. I just threw them in by faction here, and then I just threw the expansion stuff in last and kind of separate a little bit, but I didn't sort it out by type or anything like that. But you can keep everything pretty separate in here, so it's nice to grab out of. So you could probably play with this right beside you on the table. I like to pull everything out and have it kind of standing separated beside the board so you can see how much you have left, especially for the Free People's player. So you know when things are dying and when to upgrade elites and that, or downgrade elites and that kind of thing. But you could play with this right beside you, I would assume, as long as you can see inside. And when most of the components are out on the board at the start, you'd probably be able to tell what's still in here. So yeah, so that's just the way I threw it in. So I'm just going to pull it out, dump it on the table, basically. The tokens, there's a little token tray here. I decided to put all the tokens that go in the bag at the beginning. And then I got some expansion tokens I just threw in here. And this little thing will go on top to keep the map tiles in place, I'm sure. Then the cards are separated. I just threw all the expansion cards in a well here. I'm not sure how well these would fit sleeved, but you can still see there is room here in all of these wells. So I'm barely full. But I just threw these in here. Eventually I'll mix everything in when I start playing with the expansions and put them in the right slots. But I just have the base game stuff separated into 3 piles here. And then I just throw all the expansion stuff in the extra pile there. But there should be room for sleeving. Should be. But again, I don't sleeve these cards, so I'm not sure. Playing it on video, can't have too much glare, so I try to avoid sleeves when I can right now. That's the way I play. So dice in here, tokens for each faction kind of just jammed in here. Like I said, quickly threw it in, but there is still room in here a little bit. But like I said, there's lots of room in here if you want to organize things a little different. I probably could have put all the tiles standing up in here, you know, like card style, you know, all back to back, and that would have been fine. There's no spot for these for the Warriors of Middle-earth. They just go on top, I would assume. Or just on top of here before you close the box kind of thing. Not a big deal. All right, let's try putting this in the box and see how it fits. Love throwing away crappy or meh inserts from games. My favorite. That's one of the frustrating things. You pop all the cardboard and then you get a game and you just can't put it back correctly, or it's like 1,000 baggies trying to open them all to put it away and play it. So let's put Sauron player on the left here. Another player on the right, Free People's player over here, and let's keep their colors on the right side of the box here, so we don't have any fighting inside the box while we're storing it on the shelf. So we don't want to crisscross them here. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, that's a nice fit. That's a nice fit. Yes, that fits nice. Yes, solid, solid, perfect. Yes. I like it. I like how that fits. Very, very tight. Very nice. Okay. And that kind of like clicks in there a little bit so it's not sticking up over top. These ones kind of stick out here a little bit. Let's see. Maybe I can put, yeah, they fit better in there. I'll just throw them in there for now. But again, you can organize this much better than I did for sure. But yes, it fits everything from both expansions so far. So I'll just throw these cards here. Now we are going to put on the map, the board, 2 pieces of the board, nice and heavy, fit in perfect, keep everything in place, keep the tokens in those trays below in there, and there should still be some room for rule books, barely, it's almost to the top. And we'll just throw the rule books for all 3 expansions, base rule book, all the player aids and whatnot are here from each of the games. I'm sure you'll have more papers. I have some other papers I printed out for Board Game Geek because people make awesome rules aids for this game. And the lid goes on nice. And it feels like it's pretty much closed, but it is coming up a little bit for me. If I let it go, I don't know. It's hard when I hold it sideways because it kind of lifts on its own. Maybe that much. Maybe that much. Very, very tiny, very tiny. About that much the box comes up. But if I put pressure, a little bit of pressure on it, it looks like it's pretty much flush. So when it's on your shelf, laying down, you'd be fine. It only comes up basically as the rule books. So it's not a big deal. The insert itself keeps the maps, everything flat. Everything's like below the lip. So I don't know if the website says it pops the box open or not, but it's barely compared to some of the other inserts I've been doing on the channel lately. And that was a look at the e-Raptor insert for War of the Rings 2nd Edition by Ares Games for all of the expansions. I may have said 3, but I meant all 3, like the base game, 2 expansions. But it does fit Warriors of Middle-earth, Lords of Middle-earth. I don't know if more expansions will be coming, but based on what's out at the time of this recording, the base game of War of the Rings 2nd Edition with the 2 expansions that fully fits in the box, no problem. Stores everything separated, which is nice, and I'll be trying it out very shortly, playing out of the insert. And watch for a live stream coming up of this game on the channel. We'll be doing a live playthrough, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and watch out for that. Thanks again to the folks over at e-Raptor for sending this over, and thanks to everyone for watching. Special thank you to our Patreon supporters for supporting the channel. If you'd like to donate to help us grow and keep the channel alive here, the links are down in the description below. You check that out, how to support us here. And thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.